Okay, gang. In studio with us, as promised, we have the always debonair, the wonderfully handsome, the perfectly astute, and the lover of gangster rap, Mr. Brian Johnson of Valley Mortgage. So good morning, Brian.
Hey, good morning, Eric.
You didn't think I was bringing up the gangster rap this morning, did I?
I didn't expect that, no.
And I didn't expect that either, knowing that you love gangster rap. So we're both surprised today. That's great. Brian, we're in a crazy time right now in terms of political seasons, and everybody's anxious about what's going to happen with interest rates if Hillary or if Trump get elected. What's going to happen?
I think the market will stay pretty calm and easy. It'll take a while for the market to kind of figure out what is going to happen. So I think interest rates are going to stay at our current levels for quite a while. I think through the first of the year into first quarter too, there's not only the political arena that's going to affect things, but the economy itself. It still doesn't look like it's having much steam that's coming back to indicate that interest rates are going to increase anytime soon.
I heard in the debates this last week, Trump had said that we are in a bubble right now in our economy. Do you believe that to be true? This isn't a political conversation, but are we in a bubble where everything that's right now is about ready to burst and we're going to be in some serious trouble again?
I don't think so. I think it's cautious growth right now is what we're doing. Our area here, we're in a pretty good market where things have been growing rapidly. It slowed a little bit, I think, over the last year. You probably have seen that. But I think things are going to continue to slowly grow. So I think we're in a good market. I don't really see a bubble happening.
You know, I wouldn't disagree with you, Brian. We saw our most rapid growth in the last 2 years, 2014 and 2015. It went from sales, let's say the average sales price was $190,000. It shot up to $210,000 like that.
Wow.
I mean, it was a fast jump, but now we're seeing a very slow and steady and stable increase of prices again.
Yep.
What happens when interest rates change, Brian? I mean, does everything get thrown out the window and we hit this grand restart? So if interest rates right now, let's say they're at 3.5%, if those shoot to 4.5%, what happens to home values?
I don't know if that'll affect things a whole lot in our market. Typically in markets, that will slow things down quite a bit, and that may slow increased values. However, we're in a unique area because we have so many renters. We have more renters than we have people that own homes here.
Why is that?
Yeah, I can't explain that. I don't know. But
And here's the crazy thing is I own some rental properties, and we have the highest vacancy rate that we've had in the last 4 or 5 years.
Yep.
We overbuilt in the community, didn't we?
We did, yep. And they're still building more apartments.
They are. Isn't it true that they say that I think 59% of people in the Fargo-Moorhead area rent?
I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. So 41% of people buy, 59% of people rent. And that's a crazy number. So knowing all that, Brian, that there are renters out there that are aplenty, you've continued to mention time and time again that, our economy and our community doesn't get affected like maybe what's happening on a national scale. Why are we different?
We have I think, diverse economy here where we've got a lot of agriculture. We have a lot of, you've got Microsoft and different companies like that. So we're able to kind of be a little bit more diverse in our economy. And I think there's a lot of people looking for jobs, and we have jobs here. That's the key. So along with that, you have a lot of first-time home buyers. You have students getting out of school looking for jobs. They're going to be looking for homes. That kind of just keeps the market going. Sanford opening in the spring, that'll, I think, bring a little bit more jobs and more home buyers to the market.
I think about this, and I am privileged to serve on the Sanford Foundation board, and I know that they're looking for over 100 physicians still to help staff that hospital. Opens in July of 2017, and they're looking for 100 physicians. How many nurses, nurse practitioners, x-ray techs, phlebotomists, secretaries, custodians, and cafeteria workers are necessary for one physician? I mean,
the number is pretty amazing how many jobs that one physician will bring. So not only those jobs, but then the surrounding businesses that'll open and so forth. That will
because those people come with families, and they come with shopping needs, and they come with housing needs, and they come with education needs, and all those things layer. So I'm with you, Brian. I think that we live in this utopian society of a sort, and yet we are still affected by what's happening on a national scale.
We definitely are, yes. I mean, you'll feel things, not as much as maybe the larger communities, but it does affect us a little bit. And it's usually delayed, though, too. So usually if there's say a recession or something that hits the market, we don't feel it as much here, and it's usually delayed or towards the end of it when we actually feel a little bit of it.
Much like our clothing trends and much like our music tastes and everything else is, and I mean that sincerely, is that the Midwest is always later to jump on large national trends. The same goes with housing changes and changes in our economy. So I think your word is to the wise, and it's certainly valuable, is that if changes are happening on our national economy, we can know it and anticipate it and probably brace for it a little bit better than what happens, say you live in Phoenix.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
We're a little bit more conservative in this area too, so we're less hasty to adapt to or to make changes. So that kind of protects us too.
I totally get that. Brian, for people out there who are listening who are home buyers or home sellers, I have to tell you that I don't know of a better place for you to get some trusted advice and some really great insight is with Brian at Valley Mortgage, one of the smartest dudes in the industry. And so if you're considering refinancing, if you're considering buying, I want to give him a full-fledged endorsement for the skills that you have. So, BJ, if somebody wants to get in touch with you, how can they do so?
Sure. Call my office at 701-461-8450. Or visit us online at valleymortgageinc.com.
Of course, you can always go to livefargomoorhead.com to connect with Brian as well. Thanks so much for being in the studio. Always good to have you. Go Bison. We're turning you into a Bison fan bit by bit.
Slowly but surely.
Yes. We're trying. Hey, we'll have you back in a few weeks. But in the meantime, head to livefargomoorhead.com and find out what your home is worth. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch.